This is Eric Muathe with Muathe.com. All is well. Alright, in this brief educational video, I would like to take a look yet again at one of the concepts that I believe is not well appreciated and sometimes flat out not understood. It is this RSI 69.1 understanding. Now, this is Microsoft from the IPO days in mid 1980s, and of course it captures the current market action as of late July 2020. Now, I'm going to be focusing on the following areas as quickly as I can. This area here in the early 90s, late 80s, this area here from mid 90s to the 2000 top. And then we are going to take a quick look at this area here from the 2017 breakout level. Now, visually, these are the most desirable bullish periods in the stock, and I'll show that here in a second. It is the area where we see the steepest, strongest move to the upside as far as the stock is concerned. In fact, while I'm on this page, you'll notice there was a huge period where the stock, Microsoft that is, spent almost 15 years plus in this sideways box. This is 15 years of data right here, where we can say net didn't do much. That's huge time period of doing nothing. So really we can say on hindsight this was an area to avoid. Now, one of the things you see right off the bat here is, other than this brief period here, a very brief period in late 2007 where there was RSI 69.1 rejection, we can see that the stock for the most part held below RSI 69.1 for pretty much most of this phase. For almost 13-14 years was not able to move above the 69.1 threshold, and because of that you can see it was stuck in a sideways going nowhere price action phase. All right, let's take a look at the bullish period again based on my original concept, the RSI 69.1. And we're going to be taking a look at the areas where we saw the biggest price acceleration over the last 35 years plus of this individual stocks trading history. All right, let's begin with the first phase. Here we can see from the IPO days of early 86, there is this movement here. In fact, it coincides with a very nice price breakout. Now remember, this is split adjusted, so this was not the real price. The stock has seen many splits since, but we can see there was a breakout there as of late 1989. And I should point out while we are at this is that breakout that we can say began a very powerful move for the stock met the minimum requirements of the ultimate Muathe breakout. Now, you hear me talk about this all the time. As you should appreciate, I've tested this method over many years. I know it works. It will show up whenever there is a critical change in the behavior of an instrument. We can see here the RSI moved above to 3-year highs, and that coincides with the price breakout. RSI moved to 3-year highs. Excuse me, RSI actually, let me correct myself, RSI moves above 69.1, which is a variation of that. Moves above 69.1. RSI, excuse me, the MACD moves to 3-year highs, and pretty much that ignites the move from late 1989. Now we can also see there's another breakout here. This breakout took place at the beginning part of 1991 right there. Take a look at where the RSI was in that time period, that breakout, the beginning part of 1991. RSI was well above 69.1. Remember, that's one of our requirements. And you'll notice that the MACDs would jump again to 3-year highs. Here in this example, they are moving to all-time highs because the stock was an IPO. So, as Microsoft began its big move, you'll see multiple ultimate Muathe breakout take place throughout the course of its trading history. But this video was about RSI 69.1, so let me get back on point, and you'll see, generally speaking, during this phase, the stock maintained, for the most part, the RSI level holding above 69.1, which, in my opinion, explains why we see this strong, sustained move to the upside. Now, this is coming into from the breakout here, late 1989 to 1993. So that's one of the first phases. Second phase is this phase here from 94, 95. There's a breakout somewhere here. You take that breakout or this breakout in 95. Either of them is valid. And I won't go into the ultimate Muathe breakout. Maybe I should let you do that. You can go check for yourself if the stock met the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout. Let's get things here on focus. And I want to stick here on the message. And you can see for the most part, from 1994-95, the RSI maintained a very strong posture, holding above 69.1. And this, from a technical standpoint, from the way I understand the market, was one of the reasons this was one of the most successful, most powerful moving instruments in the late 90s. So again, the key was this RSI level. Now let's take a look at the most recent phase, the 2017 breakout. As you can see, RSI right here, late 2016, early 2017. We see the RSI jumping above 69.1. And other than this phase here where it drops below it and back above it, at any rate, that was another entry, another breakout. So, and again, I would encourage you to go and check and see whether these breakouts here that are highlighted, if this breakout met the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout. So after 14, 13, 15 years of sideways action, finally, the stock starts moving here in 2016, or you can take this breakout here in 2017. And we can see that it has had a substantial move relative to the time period where it spent doing nothing, with the stock being generally sideways for almost 15 years, 14 years, depending on where you start counting. And what was missing at the time was there was no RSI 69.1 power. It goes to show that if you have the patience and the appetite and the mindset to own some of the biggest moving instrument in any time period, you have to insist that they do maintain power by holding the RSI on the monthly above 69.1. Now keep in mind, this level works in all time frames for those specific time frames. Eric Muathe at Muathe.com. Love and light, light and love. Namaste.